Okay, hey everybody, this is the week 27 Defy Aging. And yes, we do have a new warm up and cool down also for July and August. So, a whole bunch of new stuff to review this week. But right here, we're just talking about the workout. So, this week we have a standard circuit on the turf. There's going to be 6 stations. We're going to rotate around that 4 times. Rounds 1 and 2 are going to be 40 seconds on, 30 seconds off, and then we're going to flip-flop that for rounds 3 and 4. That's going to be 30 seconds on, 40 seconds off. So you get a little more rest time when you're a little more tired for rounds 3 and 4. Okay, yeah, let's do some demonstrations for these 6 stations. Station 1 is called a suitcase high knee or a suitcase single leg high knee. Because essentially, we're going to have something heavy on one side, like you would carry a suitcase, and we're going to be doing a high knee with the opposite leg. So if you'd like, you can put this arm out kind of just for like leverage. I feel really close to that. Let me turn this a little bit. There we go. You don't have to. It just feels kind of natural, I think, to have this arm out for some leverage. Again, you don't have to. Heavy kettlebell in this side or one side, and we're going to do a controlled high knee with the opposite leg. Again, this arm, you don't have to put it out to the side. That's just my preference. You can put it down. You can put it on your hip. And we want to do like a 1 to 2 second pause at the top of this knee. And the nice thing about having 4 rounds is we don't have to worry about switching sides in the middle of the set, because when you come around for round 2, that is when we will do the other side. So no worries about switching sides quickly in the middle, but you do have to remember what side you started on, because we're going to do the other side round 2, but we'll end up doing 2 rounds on each side. Station 2 will be our cardio station, shuffles. We haven't done these for a hot minute. We have done them quite a few times in the past, however. So it's hard to get too many of the shuffles in the frame for the video, but it looks like this. Okay. Hi. So you're in kind of maybe a quarter squat. I don't even want to call it a squat, because I don't want you to think you have to do a squat, but it's a, kind of a quarter of a squat body position. Athletic stance maybe is a better term for it. But the key with this a shuffle is that you're kind of staying really level and smooth as you move sideways. You're not bopping up and down. So what we're not doing is like coming up. I was being excessive, but we're not bopping up and down. But instead, you watch my head. My head's going to stay very level the whole time. I'm not coming up and down and up and down. So that's kind of where the agility and a little bit of the coordination comes into play. But your feet meet in the middle and you just keep moving sideways. I don't know if it'll help any showing you a side view, but I will do that for a quick second. So a side view, shuffle, 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 other direction. Oh, I got really close to the wall there. Anyway, but yeah. So it's cardio. You can pick up speed as you get more comfortable with it. Otherwise, the speed is 100% up to you. It's a little bit of footwork, agility, and of course the cardio. Station 3 is shoulders with some core stability, kind of a lot of stuff. So palm, we're going to do a standard shoulder press, sort of. Alternating, where we're going to add a quarter rotation. So overhead press with a quarter rotation. So we're going to do one arm, okay? Conceptually, that's simple enough. But we're also going to add a quarter turn. You can almost think of it like more of a pivot. So as I press my right arm, I'm going to turn to my left. And then it all happens at the same time. Other side, other direction. Other side, other direction. Okay. Now watch my feet. When I turn, I'm pivoting my foot. I actually see my foot. I did a full pivot with my foot. Another thing that's important to note is that you are pressing the weight straight up, because what is very tempting is to press, watch my arms, is to kind of press forward. That's just kind of tempting. It kind of happens inadvertently. So you have to really focus on continuing to press straight up, just like you were doing a normal shoulder press, and not kind of want to thrust the weight forward. So it is tricky because there's a lot going on. If you just do a mindless single arm press, we do that all the time. But now we are turning the body, changing body position. There's a lot more happening. So we do have 4 rounds to perfect it. Slow and steady. Let's give it a try. Next station, Form of a RDL, Romanian deadlift, which we do all the time. We're gonna do a sumo style, however. So many of you are familiar with our sumo squat, the wide stance with the squat. Now all we're doing is turning that into a deadlift. So I know you can't see much from the front, so I'll turn to the side. So don't be too tempted, and you will. So resist the urge to do a squat, because normally when we're in this wide stance, we do a squat. Through to the front again, just to point out my toes. So with a sumo stance, toes are slightly angled out, just a little, okay? But then we want all those key components with the deadlift from here. Hinging at your hip, so we're not doing a knee bend. Hinging at your hip, pop your hips and your butt back. So my hips are starting here. They're gonna end about here because I pop my hips back. Back stays flat. Soft bend in your knee, enough so they're not locked in straight like this. Soft bend in your knee. Your back stays really flat, so make sure we're not starting to like hunch and round the back like this. So instead, take your shoulders down and back, and that helps to keep your back nice and flat. If you're doing these correctly, you should feel, if you're feeling like a pull stretch through here, that's correct. That's right. Anyway, so maybe I'll show you a couple in a row instead of just, you should look kind of straight ahead, not sideways. Yeah, that is our sumo deadlift. If you're familiar with our Romanian deadlifts, which we do all the time, all the body cues are the same. The only difference is that wide stance. So it does feel very different. You get kind of a stretch in those inner thighs, so be ready for that. But let's give that a try. It hits the hips and the glutes very differently. Next station is our plank variety for the week. It's going to be a stability ball plank. We've done this before as well. It's exactly what it sounds like, a plank on a stability ball. So there's not a great way to get in and out of it. This is how I personally prefer to do it. Kind of step one leg back, then put my elbows on the ball, then step the other leg back. So you're not resting your chest on the ball. Make sure that your stomach and your chest aren't on the ball. Your hips are parallel, level with the floor. So we're avoiding this, right? Okay, there's a great alternative that's kind of a midpoint, like a midway point, because it's a lot of stability, hence the name stability ball, right? That's what this tool is for. But if this is new for you, one way you can start working on it is pressing the ball into a wall or a rack, something stable like this, because now this box right here, which could be a wall as well, is helping me stabilize, right? So that helps get you used to the feel of the ball, that unstable surface, but it can't roll around. So it's a great alternative way to start working on it. Yeah, give it a try. If it's not working for you, or something that if you already know it's something that won't work for you, we can take any of our traditional plank varieties for this station this week and utilize that. So a standard knee plank on the floor, or a standard incline plank on a box. So we can turn this into any kind of plank we need to this week. That is quite advanced. But if you're ready for it, let's give it a try. All right, last but not least is a back exercise. It's a band pull apart, not to be confused with a band reverse fly. So if we were doing just the reverse fly, we'd have a light band and we'd be opening up the arms wide like wings. Okay. Now we want a really, really firm band, one of the heavier resistance ones. And I put my arms through the handles just so they're not flopping around, but you don't have to do that. But we're going to grab right in the middle, or I should say, it doesn't matter if it's in the middle, but really close together, I should say. Close to the body like this. And I just want you to pretend that you're trying to tear it or rip it in half, okay? So it's a pull apart. We're trying to pull it apart. So pull hard as you can. And as you do so, though, you're bringing your elbows, not just your hands apart, but also your elbows back behind you. And that's going to get that squeeze between the shoulder blades that we typically go for with a back exercise. So a couple in a row, pull apart far as you can, squeeze, and release back together. Pull and release. It should come really close to your chest here because you're bring your elbows back. So from the side, elbows are going back. And you see I'm kind of puffing out my chest, dropping my shoulders back. pull. Just kind of hold that for like a second. Pull. And if you're really focusing on this area of your back, you should feel all those muscles squeezing. So band, pull apart, similar but different than the reverse fly. It's going to be our back exercise for the week. Okay, and for the team builder, it's going to be killers. It sounds a lot scarier than it is. 2 teams I would recommend if you have a larger group. If you have a smaller group, you can just do one small group of 3 or 4 people and all cheering each other on, however you want to do this. But if your clubs that have the cones, we'll set up the cones. If not, kettlebells work just fine. And what there's going to be, some of you might remember this from like gym class back in the day. They're going to be set up on the turf, kind of spread out like this. There's going to be 3 of them. I just have 2 for the purposes of the demo. But you run, jog, or speed walk, whatever is appropriate for you, whatever is challenging for cardio and doable for you. For the first one, reach down and touch it, come back to the start. The second one, reach down and touch it, come back to the start. And the third one, touch it, come back to the start. And then your turn is done. The next person in line goes. And you repeat that until everybody is done. And you have to touch it. You can't just reach down and kind of half touch it. No, you have to touch the cone. I remember in gym class, they made you touch it, and if you didn't, you had to start over. So anyway, I'll show you really quick. So at the start line, I'm gonna go, reach down and touch it, back to the start, all the way to the farthest one, touch it, back to the start. And then there'd be a third one all the way down there, and you do it again, and run back again. Run, jog, speed walk, whatever's appropriate for you. It'll be a good cardio finisher, team builder, cheer your partner or your team on, and we'll see if there's 2 teams, large enough group to have 2 teams. We'll see which team finishes first. Little friendly competition. But yeah, let's get some killers this week. All right, everybody, that is week 27. Hope you enjoy the workout and, of course, the new warm-up and cool down as well. And we'll see you back next week.